Hello, everybody, and we are so glad you are here. Welcome to the 2021 Pride in Business Celebration. My name is Melanie Lawson. I work for ABC 13 here in Houston, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. And by the way, I am thrilled to be the MC for this very special celebration. Thank you on behalf of the Chamber for the invitation to be a part of this. I'm really grateful to you. And on behalf of all my colleagues here at ABC 13, I want to wish you a very happy Pride Month. I know it's been a big event already, and we're just getting started, really. We are proud to be live streaming this event as a media partner with the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber of Commerce. Now, as with any virtual event, there are going to be perhaps a couple of technical hiccups. We're going to assume not, but you never know. But rest assured, the Chamber team is here to help you out no matter what. You'll notice the people feature that's in the upper right portion of your screen. You can reach out to the Chamber team if you have any issues, as well as DM and interact with other participants. And just a real quick note that one lucky person's name will be drawn from the attendee list today for a fabulous Houston Rockets gift package. Take a look at just some of the goodies you're going to get. And we want to thank the Houston Rockets for their support. Speaking of support, the event today would not be possible without the generosity of our event sponsors. So we want to thank our Pride in Business sponsors, including the presenting sponsor, the British Consulate General Houston, British Consulate General here in Houston, I should say. And you'll be hearing from Consul General Richard Hyde very shortly. Thank as well to our other Pride in Business sponsors, including our platinum level sponsors, Arca Continental, Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages, and Comcast. Also, our gold level sponsors, AIDS Healthcare Foundation, including Out of the Closet Thrift Stores and AHF Pharmacy, Hawthorne Capital, the National Museum of Funeral History, and yes, there is such a thing. It's really pretty wonderful museum. The University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center, silver level sponsors now, Action Coach, Amergy Bank, the City of Houston Office of Business Opportunity, Dalton DeHart Photographic Foundation, Dessert Gallery, Goldman Sachs, 10,000 Small Businesses, Mass Mutual Greater Houston, Promo Print Group, Silver Eagle Bud Light Seltzer, St. Luke's Health. And now I want to get to our bronze level sponsors. The AIDS Foundation Houston, Councilmember Sally Alcorn, Councilmember Abby Kamen, Councilmember David Robinson, Harold's Restaurant, Bar and Terrace, and Modern Risk Management. And now I want to talk about our media partners, and I'm happy to say right at the top of the list there is ABC 13, our Houston Business Journal, ListenWorks, Outsmart Magazine, and Refuge Marketing and Consulting. And the generous support of all our Pride in Business sponsors is greatly appreciated. So we just want to say a big thanks for helping to make this milestone anniversary celebration an even bigger success. This is great. I also want to recognize now some elected officials, beginning with Mayor Sylvester Turner and Consul General Richard Hyde with the British Consulate General here in Houston, Consul General Delon Chan, who is with the Consulate of Canada in Houston, Council Member Sally Alcorn, and Council Member Abby Kamen, as well as Council Member David Robinson. Also, Director Marcia Murray with the City of Houston Office of Business Opportunity, and Laurie Christensen, Fire Marshal with Harris County Fire Marshal's Office. So we want to thank all of them for taking the time to be a part today. Now, we got a great program lined up, including the launch of the inaugural Pride in Business Awards. This is going to be so exciting. Today is really all about celebrating Pride Month and the important role of LGBTQ plus and allied businesses here in the Greater Houston economy. And we know just how well our neighbors work with us. This event underscores really how the LGBTQ plus and allied business community works with the larger, broader business community to realize just a better city for all of us. And of course, we are here to celebrate a big anniversary, the Chamber's 5-year anniversary. I want to congratulate Tammy Wallace and the board on this incredible milestone. And while I'm busy congratulating Tammy, I also want to introduce her to you. As a matter of fact, she is a co-founder and the president and CEO of the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber of Commerce. So Tammy, we are so happy to have you here as well. Why don't you start off with a few remarks?
Well, Melanie, thank you so much. I mean, I just got a text, somebody saying, you are fabulous. We knew that. We knew that already. And we are just incredibly grateful for your support and thrilled you're our MC today. It makes it just even more special for this really special day, this special event and special year. So thank you. We just appreciate ABC 13 too in this terrific partnership. I love this live stream. And, I want to thank everybody actually that is joining us today to help us celebrate, whether you're online with us or you're through the live stream. To our special guests, which you're going to hear from shortly, thank you for being part of this special day. And to our sponsors, I mean, Melanie mentioned that fabulous list, including our presenting sponsor, the British Consulate General in Houston. Your support absolutely means the world. And I do want to recognize our amazing executive administrators at Manifest Creative for all of their support to make not only this event happen, but for what they do every day to help us do the important work that we do at the Chamber. So thank you to that team. And, I just want to reflect for a moment and just say, a little over 5 years ago, Gary Wood, and I know Gary's on, and we launched the Chamber. And what we saw, we realized that the LGBTQ plus business community did not have a voice locally or regionally. And not only that, we didn't have a voice, but we didn't have a seat at the table. So we decided to change that. And many have heard me call Gary my chamber husband. So we were locked at the hip. And 5 years later, we are both incredibly proud that this chamber is thriving. But I have to say, woven into our success over the past 5 years is the investment of so many individuals, members, and organizations, and certainly our board. Without you, we are just not here today. We're not celebrating or even looking forward to what we can accomplish and the impact that we can have over the next 5 years and beyond. I have to tell you, this work is incredibly rewarding. It makes me want to get up every day. When you hear the stories that our members have found a place where they feel welcomed, where they can be themselves, where they can see themselves, and ultimately where they can thrive, we know we're making a difference. As we celebrate today, again, we're looking ahead because the need is great for the LGBTQ plus community in terms of achieving economic inclusion. We have so much more work to do, but I'm going to tell you, we're ready, but we need your help. So if you're not a member of the Chamber, now is a great time to be part of the work we're doing. And with that, today is about celebration. And we are excited to launch our inaugural Pride in Business Awards. We are recognizing some phenomenal contributions made by members, corporate partners, and other key stakeholders. We're proud to spotlight these amazing honorees. Let's hear from our first group of Pride in Business honorees.
The Corporate Partner of the Year Award is given to a company that has shown a strong commitment to the positively growing LGBTQ plus business community. This year, we are proud to recognise our inaugural corporate partner, Comcast, as the 2021 Pride in Business Corporate Partner of the Year. Comcast is being recognised for its commitment to the Chamber and for being a strong advocate of our mission to advance economic inclusion, including through the Comcast Rise programme, which has helped thousands of diverse-owned businesses with grants and technical support. Congratulations to Comcast.
Thank you to the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber of Commerce for recognizing Comcast as a Pride in Business honoree. As one of the leaders of the Comcast Out ERGs in the Houston region, I am proud to work for a company that has a long-standing commitment to diversity and inclusion. At Comcast NBC Universal, we define diversity broadly. not just embracing differences in each other, but also embracing a business culture that respects and includes different thoughts, choices, philosophies, and experiences. We recognize that diversity and inclusion is our company's compass for success, not just as a value, but as a business philosophy central to our operations. As one of the world's leading providers of entertainment, information, and communications products and services, we have a responsibility to reflect the customers and audience we serve in all aspects of our business. That's why we are so proud to continually be recognized as an employer of choice for the LGBT community, which exemplifies Comcast NBC Universal's commitment to fostering an open and inclusive culture. Thank you, and congratulations to all honorees.
This award is given to an individual who has a positive impact within their company as a champion for LGBTQ plus inclusion. This year, we are proud to recognize George Marshall, who is our inaugural corporate partner, Amity Bank, as the 2021 Pride in Business Corporate Ally of the Year. George advocated for Amity Bank to be the very first chamber corporate partner and support our mission focused on economic inclusion. The Chamber recognizes his commitment both as an executive sponsor of the LGBT and Allies Business Resource Group and as a champion for the broader LGBTQ plus community. Congratulations, George.
On behalf of all of my colleagues at Amity Bank, I am very grateful to be receiving this recognition from the LGBT Chamber in Houston. The Chamber does so much to raise awareness among employers and to encourage our efforts to be very intentional around the issues of diversity and inclusion. I'm really proud of the progress that Amity has made in this respect over the last several years to be fully supportive of our employees and to create an environment where we can all be comfortable being our true and full selves. I have to mention a few names who have deserved really the credit for a lot of the progress that we've made over the years. Robert Hahn and Catherine Duica Morris, who were the founding chair and co-chair, whose courage and leadership in the early years really got us going. Current leadership, Clay Melder and Ken Jacobs, are doing a great job, and key contributors over the years, Michael Hickey, Tony Martinez, Tressa Seguyo, Brenda Cooper, who's head of diversity for Amity Bank, is a huge supporter of ours, obviously, and Deb Smith, who is the incoming executive sponsor for the LGBT Business Resource Group, is off to the races. Obviously, it wouldn't be possible without support from our executive leadership. Steve Stevens, our CEO, Leif Afseth, our president, and Dave Stevenson, who's the Houston market president, have been very supportive from day one. This is obviously the right thing to do from a humanitarian perspective, but also it benefits business by helping build and support cohesive, motivated, and more productive workforce. And that's the element that the Chamber really brings to light, and I think their message resonates with management teams all over the Houston metropolitan area. So we're very honored to be receiving this recognition, and we appreciate our partnership with the Chamber. Thank you.
This award is given to an LGBTQ plus owned member business that is an active participant and champion of the Chamber with a proven track record of success. And it serves as a strong example for other Chamber members. The Chamber is proud to recognize inaugural member Marfran Cleaning as the LGBTQ Business of the Year. Marfran Cleaning is one of the Chamber's very first members supporting the organization since year one. As an LGBTQ, BIPOC, women, and veteran-owned business, the company continually serves as a strong role model for diverse-owned businesses. Congratulations to Marfran Cleaning.
What an honor 2021 LGBTQ Business of the Year. Thank you, Greater Houston LGBT Chamber of Commerce. We're so grateful and pleased to be celebrating this during the 5th year as an inaugural member of the Greater Houston LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, we would like to thank the Chamber. We would like to thank our employees, all our vendors, and everyone that have supported us throughout the years. This is quite an honor for us, and we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
This award honors an organization that has demonstrated a long-term commitment to the LGBTQ+ community. Through the actions of advocacy, service, education, and community initiatives, they have made a significant and positive impact for the LGBTQ+ community. This year, we recognize founding member Outsmart Magazine with the inaugural Pride in Business Community Legacy Award. Celebrating its 28th year, Outsmart Magazine has shared the stories of the LGBTQ+ community and preserved a record of history for Houston, the region, and beyond. Because of Outsmart Magazine, generations to come will have access to some of the most important historical moments in LGBTQ+ history. Congratulations to Outsmart Magazine.
On behalf of Outsmart Magazine, I'd like to thank the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber of Commerce for this terrific recognition. We've definitely seen some amazing changes and developments in the past 28 years that we've been publishing Outsmart, and we're extremely proud to be a founding member of the Chamber. Of course, as a free publication, we wouldn't be here without the ongoing support of our family of advertisers that have allowed us to be the voice of Houston's dynamic LGBTQ community. To the freelance writers and photographers who have made Outsmart look and read so well, and of course the thousands of readers that look forward to picking us up every month, we thank you for your support. Thank you once again.
This award is given to an LGBTBE certified member business that has a proven track record of success utilizing the certification and serves as a strong example for other chamber members in terms of business success. Congratulations to founding member Bocce Engineering and Construction on being recognized as the 2021 Pride in Business LGBTBE Certified Business of the Year. Bocce is continuously giving back to the LGBTQ+ business community, both as a role model and sharing insights, best practices, and wisdom to support other business owners.
I am incredibly grateful to be a recipient of this award. It is so instrumental, the Chamber and their activities involved in my business and the successes that we've had here in Houston. And I'm just thrilled to know that the City of Houston has been added to a small list of cities that are now accepting LGBT businesses in this area due to the Chamber and the advocacy of the political outreach that we have done to make a change and make a difference for our allies and our LGBTQ businesses here in Houston. And it's through the Chamber, the meet and greet and connecting with some on the industry construction council, other architects and construction companies, and working through these programs that the Chamber has offered and just making relationships and making friends and doing what's right. The difference to our company has been remarkable. I have participated in mentor-protege programs, matchmaker programs, meet and greet efforts, and I'm either finding companies to hire as partners on our contracts, or we're getting business direct as to the corporate participants such as Shell and other companies here in town. So the impact is phenomenal. I am just so grateful and honored to have been recognized.
Wow, what a group there. That is our first group of awardees, honorees this year. And I was just thrilled to get a chance to learn more about them. These are some companies I didn't know anything about, but now we all do, and we appreciate them so very much. Certainly appreciate hearing about their contributions to the Chamber. And as you heard there from Bocce, the LGBTQ+ community at large. Well, with this theme of giving back, again, we want to thank our presenting sponsor today, the British Consulate General Houston. They have been just so generous to us. The consulate is an international partner with the Chamber. Consul General Richard Hyde has not only been a champion of the Chamber, but also is a strong ally for the entire LGBTQ plus community. So it is my great pleasure at this point to introduce Consul General Richard Hyde to share a few remarks. Richard?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm Richard Hyde. I use the pronouns he and him. I'm so honored and privileged to be able to join with you today. At the British Consulate General in Houston, we are so proud of our partnership with the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber. And we're really excited to be the presenting sponsor for this event. It's a real shame, of course, that we're having to celebrate the 5th birthday of the Chamber virtually. But soon, very soon, I hope, we'll be through this pandemic and we can all celebrate again properly, in person, face to face. The Pride in Business Awards celebrate the contributions made towards the most important goal we all share of creating a more diverse and inclusive business community in this great city of Houston that we all call home. Over the past year, Tammy and her fabulous board at the Chamber have become great friends to the British Consulate. And through this, though in this most unusual of years, we all still haven't met in person. I can't believe I still haven't met these guys. The Chamber is a hugely impressive organization. Now, I've lived all around the world and I've worked with chambers and economic agencies everywhere. This is one of the best I've ever come across. It has an incredible convening power and is an essential voice for business and the LGBTQ community. Our partnership with the Chamber and our participation today is a thing of huge personal pride to me. The UK is committed to non-discrimination on any grounds, including sexual orientation and gender identity. All around the world, side by side with American diplomats, we promote equality and inclusion. It's a fundamental part of our work as diplomats. And one of our key roles here in Houston is to promote trade and investment between the UK and the United States. And we know that in the United States, there are around 1.5 million LGBTQ-owned companies, generating somewhere in the region of $1.8 trillion in economic output. So that means that LGBTQ-owned businesses produce just about as much as this great state of Texas. That's massive. And we want British companies to join this LGBTQ-driven economy, which is why we are looking to bring a trade mission made up exclusively of LGBTQ-owned businesses over here to Texas next year. The strongest, safest, and most prosperous societies are those in which all citizens can live freely without fear of discrimination. Through our partnership with this brilliant chamber, we want to promote a genuinely inclusive society in both of our countries, where the LGBTQ community can play a full and active part both in society and also in the economy. Everyone, as Tammy says, everyone must have a seat at the table. Today is a celebration of those who are contributing to this most important endeavor. Thank you so much for letting me share in this event. Now let's hear a little bit more about the Chamber's fabulous 5-year journey to date.
Thank you so much, Consul General. We really appreciate it. Well, in just 5 short years, you can see some of the remarkable accomplishments of the Chamber.
The National LGBT Chamber of Commerce said they were continually asked about why there was no LGBTQ chamber in Houston, yet chambers existed in Austin and North Texas and San Antonio. Not only was it a noticeable gap when looking at the state, but it was a huge gap in terms of making sure our voice is heard in business.
It wasn't until Tammy and Gary stepped forward and really said that they wanted to focus on bringing real economic growth to the LGBTQ community in Houston and looking at supplier diversity. Aha, we have the right people now.
When Tammy and I started the chamber, we had some pretty lofty goals and expectations of how we're going to create an organization that will amplify the voice of the LGBT business community.
You know, I knew that it was not only important, but also crucial to make sure the LGBTQ community was represented when it comes to economic development and economic inclusion. The LGBTQ plus community needed a voice locally and regionally. This is exactly why we launched the chamber. So the chamber is absolutely making a difference in Houston and really the region and across the state. We are raising the profile for LGBTQ owned and allied owned businesses.
If you look at it from the lens of visibility, advocacy, creating opportunity, the chamber is playing a big part in making a huge difference with our members in providing resources, knowledge, a strong business network so that our LGBT businesses are best positioned to attain all the success they deserve.
The work that the chamber does in the community to identify businesses, to work with us, to certify them, to get them into the diverse supply chain with major corporations is truly remarkable. So not only is Houston doing well by the constituents right there in the backyard, you're truly having an imprint on LGBT businesses across the country.
By working together, we want to create more opportunities for LGBT business owners and entrepreneurs to be seen, represented, and to actively participate in doing business with the city. This is only the beginning, and we look forward to seeing many visible impacts in the months and years ahead.
You know, we do this thing at the SBA called a Strategic Alliance Memorandum, and we only do those with those organizations that can really help us impact small businesses. So we're proud to do that with this chamber. We regard this chamber as a very important partner to the SBA and our goal of helping Americans with their small businesses.
The Houston LGBT Chamber of Commerce has been instrumental in working with all of our statewide chamber coalition partners. Really, without the leadership of the Houston Chamber of Commerce, and especially that of Tammy, we would not be able to do the work that we're doing at a statewide level that really is trend setting across the nation.
We've been able to work with each other on a state level as opposed to just a city level here. So that gives our members a lot more value with their membership as well. In working with each other, the chamber has more visibility.
I am truly in awe of everything that the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber has been able to accomplish. You've had an incredible 5 years. We're so thrilled to have you as a part of the NGLCC affiliate family. And here's to the next 5, and the 5 after that, and the 5 after that.
So to the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber, congratulations and all the best as you celebrate your 5-year milestone.
Oh, congratulations, Tammy, and to the Houston Chamber, the Greater Houston Chamber of Commerce. I mean, you guys are absolutely amazing. You've done a great job so far in these past few years. I look forward to the next, 5 years, 10 years with the Chamber.
We are proud of this chamber, and we want to keep empowering Houston's LGBTQ businesses.
So to Tammy and the team, thank you for doing the work that you're doing.
When I see the work that the Houston Chamber is doing, they have not only done what I thought were great things, but they've exceeded even my expectations and are just doing really terrific work.
Just thrilled that we are where we are today with the Chamber. You know, I can't believe it's 5 years. All the great things that the board's done, and special thanks to Tammy for all the incredible energy that she's put forward and where we are. I'm just very proud.
It's such a collective effort on many fronts. I have so much gratitude for our inaugural corporate partners, founding and inaugural members, our past and present board members, our founding leadership council, our executive administrators, and our volunteers, and really the entire membership who are a part of our amazing journey to this 5-year celebration. They have collectively dedicated time, talent, and treasure, and are a part of our success since 2016. And we are just getting started.
Well, congratulations. That's just amazing as I look at that. 5 short years and look at all of the remarkable accomplishments of the Chamber. I might add that the Chamber has persevered despite a few challenges, if you want to put it that way. Things like Hurricane Harvey, a pandemic, we're still in the middle of that in some ways. The Texas freeze, the loss of water across the city on the day of their 4th anniversary celebration. All that plus tax day floods and Memorial Day disasters and all that sort of thing. But as we well know in Houston, we just rise to the occasion, and certainly the Chamber has done that. I think this brings a new meaning to that saying, never a dull moment. You better believe that. Yet throughout the challenges over the past few years, there have been such tremendous accomplishments, and the Chamber has continued to be both a strong resource and an advocate for its members and for the LGBTQ plus community at large here in Houston. I'm so pleased to be able to introduce our next special guest. Here is somebody who knows about Chambers a thing or two and was there from the very beginning of this Chamber's launch. It is my great pleasure now to bring on Justin Nelson, who is co-founder and president with the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce, and he is going to share a few remarks. Justin?
Thanks, Melanie, and happy Pride, Greater Houston LGBT Chamber of Commerce, members, allies, partners. Congratulations on 5 years. What an incredible 5 years it has been. You know, the Houston Chamber is exactly the kind of partner you want on your side, and the leadership at the board with Tammy, people that care about you and your business more than they care about a headline or a name in a paper. That's true leadership, and that's the leadership that you get with the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber of Commerce. I can't thank you enough for your work, for what you do empowering Greater Houston's LGBT business community. You know, we've heard a lot already about the impact that the Chamber's having, you know, across the region and across the state. It's really happening not just across the region and across the state, but across the country and globally. You know, the Houston Chamber is a part of a network of 54 U.S. affiliates under our umbrella, and now 22 globally. And I think just having the Consulate General participate in this event shows the work and the impact that an organization like the Greater Houston Chamber has on the community. The reality is, and the Consular General mentioned this, we are 1.4 million LGBT businesses strong, a combined economic impact of 1.7 trillion on the U.S. economy. That would make us, if LGBT business owners were our own country, the 10th largest economy in the world. And thanks to organizations like the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber of Commerce and like our affiliates across this country, we are continuing to prove that if you can buy it, an LGBT-owned business can make it and sell it. We are a part of the vibrant small business engine that makes our U.S. economy run, and we deserve a seat at the table. And that's exactly what's being delivered by the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber of Commerce. I am thrilled with what the last 5 years has brought from this partnership, and I can't wait, as I mentioned in the video, for the next 5 and the 5 after that and the 5 after that. So congratulations to you on 5 years. Congratulations to all of today's honorees, and thanks for everything each and every one of you do, showing up, speaking up, and being a part of what moves us forward. Thank you all very much, and it is my honor to turn things back to the Counselor General.
Thank you, Justin. It's a real honor now for me to be able to present the Chamber Champion Award to Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner. Mayor Turner is a passionate advocate for the Chamber and for the LGBTQ+ and allied business community in Houston. Through his tireless commitment to equality, he has helped advance business prosperity for the LGBTQ+ and the allied business community, especially for Black, Indigenous, and other people of color, for trans and women-owned business too. The Chamber is really proud to recognize Mayor Sylvester Turner for his historic executive order to include LGBTBE certified businesses in City of Houston contracting and procurement. This has made Houston the first city in Texas to include this recognition. This award recognizes Mayor Turner's outstanding leadership and advocacy on behalf of LGBTQ+ business community and the wider community. Congratulations, Mayor Turner. We're going to now hear a few words from him.
Thank you so very much, and happy Pride Month. I am honored to receive the first ever Pride in Business LGBTQ Chamber Advocacy Award. First and foremost, Tammy Wallace, your contributions to the LGBTQ community and work for economic inclusion are countless. I have seen your hard work develop into great success for years. Since before I appointed you to the Mayor's LGBTQ Advisory Board in 2016. This is a wonderful recognition, and I am humble, especially given how many other Houstonians have made contributions in this quest for equality. When I signed the executive order calling for the inclusion of certified LGBTQ business enterprise suppliers in our procurement and contracting processes, I certainly did not have an accolade like this in mind. My one goal was to provide fair and equal access to the opportunities the city has for those who were not previously recognized in our small and disadvantaged business programs. The certification program helps to level the playing field for women, minorities, small businesses, and now those in the LGBTQ community. When I spoke to the NGLCC back in March, I told them how increasing diversity among our contractors is good for city business. Not only will it make bids more competitive, but we are ensuring that every business owner in the LGBTQ community has access to the city's programs for business development, financial assistance, and entrepreneurship initiatives. Houston's history and LGBTQ history are inseparable. In every significant moment, the LGBTQ community has stood up for justice, for equality, and for making a better city for everyone. It's not enough that the community has shown up at the polls. Even in the most recent presidential election, the community has offered up its bars so they could be the polls. I could not accept an award like this without, of course, mentioning and thanking the Office of Business Opportunity and its leader, Marsha E. Murray. It is one thing for the mayor to make an executive order, but the OBO has turned those words into actions. Marsha and her team have been instrumental in connecting real people with city business, which is ultimately a win across the board. So thank you again for this recognition. I hold this honor close to my heart, and I look forward to the success we will see as we continue to fight for justice.
Well, a big congratulations there to Mayor Turner on receiving the inaugural Chamber Champion Award. And we want to thank him as well for being an amazing advocate for the LGBTQ plus business community, as well as the Chamber. You know, as a Houstonian, I'm always so proud of our city because we are diverse and inclusive, and that really comes from the top. So we appreciate him very much. In fact, the mayor's executive order earlier this year makes Houston the first city in Texas to recognize LGBTQ plus businesses in city contracting and procurement. And you know how much we like making history here in Houston. So that is just terrific. All right, so why don't we make a little bit more history by sharing our final group of inaugural Pride in Business Award honorees. I love seeing the first round, so this is going to be equally terrific. These are folks who are making such a difference for the community, for the Chamber, and for the LGBTQ plus business community. So take it away.
This award is given to an individual who works in supply diversity or procurement and has been a strong advocate for diversity and inclusion within the larger business community. Brian Hall has championed the Chamber's mission of economic inclusion for the LGBTQ+ community through his role at Shell. His mentorship and engagement with LGBTQ+ business owners has enriched many members and beyond because of his willingness to generously share his unique and valuable insight to help them succeed. Brian is a connector, a leader, and a change maker. Congratulations to Brian Hall, our 2021 Pride in Business Supply Diversity Advocate of the Year.
Hello, I'm Brian Hall, Manager of Supplier Diversity and Diversity Advocacy here at Shell. On behalf of our Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion team and colleagues, I'm humbled by this recognition from the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber and community. 10 years ago, I described this work as a role of a lifetime here at Shell. Little did I know it would be the toughest role in my 30-year energy career. You see, advocating for those of us who in many ways start off behind in life's equality race is tough work. What makes it even tougher is being faced by fear, hate, judgment, discouragement, and non-acceptance. It's personal and can hold some of the greatest of God's creations back, but not for long. You see, the LGBT Chamber is a beacon of light, hope, and power, just 5 years young. And one can't help but to be changed through engaging and advocating with this community. Therefore, I commit myself and the energy of Shell to advancing opportunities for the members of the LGBT Chamber, because this role of a lifetime says I will. Be blessed, be kind, be yourself, and let's all grow together, transforming Pride Month into years of pride. Thank you.
This award is given to a nonprofit member that is committed to LGBTQ+ inclusion through its work, actions, and visible support to the community. This organization has a proven track record of success and involvement and is a strong champion of the Chamber's mission to accelerate economic opportunity for the LGBTQ+ community. We are proud to recognize Combined Arms as a 2021 Pride in Business Nonprofit Member of the Year, and appreciate the organization's work and advocacy on behalf of LGBTQ+ veterans. Congratulations to Combined Arms.
Thank you for this incredible honor. On behalf of Combined Arms, I am delighted to accept the inaugural Pride in Business Nonprofit of the Year award. Combined Arms is on a mission to build a positive and inclusive community to accelerate the transition for veterans and military families in the communities where they live. We stand on the shoulders of our volunteers, like our community group leader, Roy Alvarez, and fellow chamber member, thank you, Roy, as well as the LGBT Chamber, who's one of our member organizations among the 150 best-in-class partner organizations to help accelerate those life's transitions. Since the founding of our nation, LGBTQ individuals have been serving honorably in the armed forces. In September, we will recognize the 10-year anniversary of the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And it is our honor to continue to advocate and support policy and legislation that helps to accelerate equality for all. And we are thrilled to be able to recognize chamber members and other awardees and celebrate together with you in partnership of this great community. Again, on behalf of Combined Arms, I'm thankful for this opportunity to accept this award and to be able to celebrate an inclusive and thriving community together. Thank you.
Allies play a pivotal role in the Chamber. We are proud to honor an ally-owned business with the Pride in Business Allied Business of the Year Award, which recognizes its commitment to LGBTQ inclusion through its work, actions, and visible support of the community. This business has a proven track record of success and involvement and is a strong champion of the Chamber and the LGBTQ+ community. At the start of the pandemic, the team at Ajana Therapy and Clinical Services was one of the first members to step up to offer support for the Chamber and our members. Congratulations to Ajana Therapy and Clinical Services on being recognized as the 2021 Allied Business of the Year.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica, the founder and clinical director of Ajana Therapy and Clinical Services. I'm extremely honored to be receiving such an important award on behalf of the Ajana Therapy team. We are earnestly grateful for the recognition we have received as recipients of the Allied Business of the Year. We've attempted to be a safe and affirming place for the LGBTQ community, and being part of the Houston LGBT Chamber has helped us to further that mission. It has not been my sole effort. When the pandemic hit, Kristen Suleiman and Sana Koja were imperative in stepping into, help support the community. I have also a huge team that I'm so grateful for them and their commitment to serving the community. Thank you to Tammy and the Chamber. We are truly privileged to be part of this Chamber and receiving this award today.
This award is given to a Chamber corporate partner, employee resource group that works to support and build a culture of inclusion and acceptance. The group is a strong advocate for the LGBTQ+ inclusion within the company and beyond. This year, we are recognizing our corporate partner, Dow, and its LGBTQ employee resource group, GLAD, with the 2021 Pride in Business Business Resource Group of the Year Award. GLAD serves as a model for other groups advocating for change within companies and supporting LGBTQ employees to bring their full and authentic selves to the workplace. Dow's LGBTQ employee resource group leads from the front within the company and beyond to support the broader LGBTQ community through advocacy and engagement, through public policy, and more. GLAD, the chemical industry's first LGBTQ+ employee resource group, was formed more than 15 years ago to improve LGBTQ+ workplace equality. Congratulations to Dow and the GLAD team.
Howdy, my name is Trevor Ewers, Senior Research and Development Leader for Dow. I'm also the North American leader for Dow's LGBTQ+ and ally employee resource group, GLAD. Today, I'm here to accept the Pride in Business 2021 Business Resource Group of the Year Award on behalf of all the incredible people I get to call my colleagues at Team Dow. The Business Resource Group of the Year Award is given to a business resource group at one of the Chamber's corporate partners who work to support and build a culture of inclusion and acceptance. And that's exactly what we're working to do at Dow. Ever since GLAAD's inception more than 20 years ago, the passionate, inclusion-minded employees leading it have been effecting change that has bettered our company and the world. I'm so proud to be a part of this group and this company. The work we're being recognized for is deeply personal and meaningful to me, and it's recognition of the great strides Dow and GLAAD have made to improve people's lives. Especially after last year, we could all use a moment of pride. So let's take time to celebrate the great work we have all done to advance inclusion, and to celebrate the advancements this important work has made on people's lives across Houston, Texas, the United States, and the world. Greater Houston LGBT Chamber, thank you for recognizing us. And to all my colleagues at Dow, especially our GLAAD team, congratulations on this great recognition.
This award is given to an organization that is a strong advocate for the Chamber and the LGBTQ+ and allied business community. Through its work and impact, this organization advances business prosperity for LGBTQ+ and allied businesses, especially BIPOC, trans, and women-owned businesses. We are proud to recognize our gold-level corporate partner, United, with the 2021 Pride in Business Chamber Advocacy Award. We applaud United for its advocacy and leadership on LGBTQ+ legislation at the state, local, and federal levels, as well as its commitment to supplier diversity and LGBTBE certified businesses, and local, statewide, and national LGBTQ chamber engagement. Congratulations to United.
It's an honor to accept the Pride in Business Chamber Advocacy Award on behalf of United Airlines and Equal, our LGBTQ+ business resource group. I'm Kevin Keto, and my pronouns are he, him. As president of Equal, I can personally attest to the hard work and dedication of the people of United to create the world's most inclusive airline. This past year has been transformative for our industry and our world, but if it's taught us anything, it's that our path of progress forward cannot be deterred. We've been hard at work to make sure everyone who flies with us and is part of the United family, regardless of who they love, how they identify, no matter race, creed, or background, everyone belongs. And to lead in this space is to truly connect people and unite the world. As the first airline to offer same-sex partner benefits, and most recently gender non-binary booking codes, we've proven a commitment to the LGBTQ+ community, and our work has only just begun. It's that commitment that drives us higher and farther, and I can say so confidently. I'm honored to accept this award on behalf of United Airlines, and a happy 5th anniversary to the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber of Commerce. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and congratulations to all of the Pride in Business honorees today, to the companies, to the individuals who are making a difference for the LGBTQ+ community and giving back. We want to thank you once again, and well deserved. Now, we know you're the first and to honor the 5th anniversary here, but with the launch of the inaugural Pride in Business Awards today, we know you will not be the last. So for the Chamber's next 5 years and beyond, I know you will be honoring even more remarkable companies and individuals, collaborating with the Chamber to raise the bar for the LGBTQ+ community here in Houston. Well, now we have such a treat. I'm really looking forward to this with our next guest. And we're going to have a very special conversation with Luis Vega. Now, we're going to have a fireside chat this afternoon, which is kind of funny in Houston since it's about 200 degrees in the shade, but never mind. We're going to hear about Luis and his incredible path as an out LGBTQ+ executive and a lot more than that. So let me share a little bit about him and his remarkable accomplishments. Luis is the President, North America, and Vice President, Government Affairs and Advocacy, North America, with Dow. Over his 20-plus year career at Dow, Luis has gained wide-ranging expertise honed his strong business acumen, and led significant growth projects and business development programs. All of this has been augmented through his extensive national and international experience, which includes roles in Switzerland, in Dubai, in Australia, Washington, D.C., Michigan, and New York. And previously, from 2011 to 2017, he served as Chief of Staff of the Office of the Chairman and CEO. Later, he was named Vice President of Dow's Olympic and Sports Solutions business, where he served from 2014 to 2019. He most recently headed up Dow's presence in Australia and New Zealand as President and Managing Director for those two companies from 2016 to 2019. He is a passionate leader who advocates for inclusion and works towards full equality for all. And Louis strives to demonstrate how diversity can ensure enterprise success and deliver bottom-line results. He was named to Australia's 50 Outstanding LGBTI Business Executives in 2018 and 2019. A philanthropist and a member of many nonprofit boards, he's also a proud multi-year member of the Outstanding LGBT+ Role Models list. He is a trustee of the Chemical Industry Labor Management Committee and a member of the Trilateral Commission. And in 2015, his alma mater, New Mexico State University, honored him with a Distinguished Alumni Award. Prior to joining Dow, Louis had a series of roles in Washington, D.C., from Capitol Hill to the executive branch over the span of a dozen years. So Louis, let me share on behalf of the Chamber, we want to thank you for joining us today and for Dow's tremendous support of the Chamber. You heard about that just a moment ago. In fact, Dow's support has been instrumental in the Chamber's first 5 years. So I want to welcome Louis right now, and thank you so much for taking part in this conversation with me. Good to have you here, Louis.
Yeah, well, thank you, and appreciate being invited. And Tammy, into the Chamber, congratulations and thank you for all the work you're doing. And I cannot go on before saying just how proud I am of my colleagues at GLAAD, the work, the passion, the organization, not just within the company, but in the communities in which we operate, which are many small communities around the country. I'm just so honored and pleased. So on behalf of the women and men of Dow, many of whom call Houston and Texas home, I thank you for the invitation and look forward to the conversation.
Well, thank you so much, Louis. And I figured you had to be at least 110, having done all that stuff. So it's very nice. No, you don't, not at all. I want to start off just by asking you about your journey, both your career and personal journey, and especially the decision that you made to come out at work.
Well, thank you. I grew up in New Mexico, a small ranching community south of Albuquerque on the Rio Grande, and so I just always looked at the sky. I looked at television. I always wanted to learn more about the world around me, and so that's how I ended up in Washington, working for a senator from New Mexico, and then I came on to work for Dow. However, when I was in DC, I was not out. I was, I guess, part of the pink mafia, as they used to call it in Washington, that wink, wink, nudge, nudge, straight by day and gay by night. And we formed informal networks. We helped each other. We mentored each other through. And what was so important to me at that time was that I saw gay and lesbian men and women getting ahead and being thought leaders and having professional careers, and I just never thought I would see that. And so when Dow came knocking, I decided that I was going to bring all of myself to the interviews. I decided that it was time. I was tired of hiding a big portion of myself, and I didn't want it to look like I was embarrassed by it. So during the interview process, I was waiting with bated breath for someone to ask me about my wife or my kids or any of that, and none of it happened. So I was a little disappointed, but what it showed me was that the company was interviewing an individual, someone that they were looking for to help them in their strategy and journey, and that's what I was looking for. And so I joined thinking if I stay a couple of years, I'll learn business and I'll learn something along the way. And that was about 23 years ago.
Wow, that's amazing. And what great insight. I think that is an important statement for a lot of people out there. But tell me a little bit about your coming out story at work. And did it mirror when you had to tell your family and friends?
Well, I guess not really. I was more coming out with age, right? So it was just a different time. And with my family, I'm Hispanic. I am the only from two very large families. My mom and dad both are part of 7 of each. So it was just me. And so I felt this incredible responsibility to try to carry on the family name. It's kind of hard to articulate, but my Hispanic friends out there understand some of the pressures and expectations on some of us, especially those that are onlys, and kind of everyone's putting it on your shoulders. But I just decided to do what I could to be me. I didn't know at an early age that I was gay. You know, looking back, I can understand where some of my curiosities or some of my not feeling totally like I belonged were coming from. But I just wanted to be successful and make my family proud. So I went to New Mexico State. I did my best. I went to Washington, did my best. I came to Dow, done my best. And along the way, trying to help others to be their best and to achieve their potential. And here we are some 23 years later.
Why do I think your parents were incredibly proud of you and it ended up not being as difficult as you might have thought?
It really wasn't. It really wasn't. I remember telling my mother, because she was in DC helping me furnish a purchase home, as moms do.
Yes.
And I had invited her to dinner, invited my then boyfriend to dinner, and we went back to the hotel, and I said, I have to tell you something. And she's like, yeah, he's not your friend. He's your friend. And I start crying. She's like, why are you crying? I'm like, well, I don't know. It's just years of letting it off my shoulders. And my aunts were the same. My dad was the same. My community's been the same. And I think it's because I'm just me. I was just being me, and they knew me for all of me. And this was just another part of me. And I continue to this day to return to that little town in New Mexico. Was just there for Father's Day. And just living my true whole self.
That is such a powerful story. And I suspected, just being who you are, that your parents were very accepting. How do you think identifying as LGBTQ really impacts the way you lead your business?
You know, I'm a more inclusive leader. I'm a more listening leader. I'm hopeful that I put myself in others' shoes and really try to hear and extract from everyone what they believe is the best path forward. You know, when I lead a meeting or engage with employees, my colleagues, my friends, I make sure I look around the room for the person not speaking, because every voice is needed at the table. And that's why companies focus on inclusion and diversity, is because if we all look and sound like ourselves, we're never going to get to the next best answer. And so I'm hopeful that my experiences along the way have helped me to be a better listener, to identify when someone has something to say and maybe they're just a little shy or uncomfortable in expressing, and just being my open self, warts and all, so that people can feel that they have someone that they can come to talk to without judgment.
I think I probably know the answer to this question, but I'll ask it nonetheless. And how do you feel your career has been impacted as a result of being LGBTQ plus?
Fantastically. I mean, I would not be in the place I am now professionally if I had not brought my whole self to work. And I'll give you an example of that. When our CEO at the time asked me to take on a pretty pivotal role in my career in Dubai, I didn't have to start to wonder how I had my personal life versus my professional life. I didn't have to start to wonder, what does this mean for my husband and I? I didn't have to wonder, how am I going to, buy tickets? Is one going to live in London, the other one in Dubai? All those things to be able to allow me to be able to say yes to a pivotal career, I didn't have to worry about, because I was out. I was, the company knew my husband, and they were offering a role and a step for an employee, not a gay guy, not a Hispanic guy, not a straight woman, but to someone they thought was the best person. And I was very fortunate in that. I grew tremendously professionally from that. And that was a big step that I would not have been able to take if I was hiding myself.
Yeah, that's such a good
example
point there. Well, what advice, and I'm sure you have found yourself really being a mentor to so many people that work with you, but what advice would you give to an LGBTQ person who is starting their career about really bringing their full selves to the job?
Well, look, just like me and anyone else, we all have different stories. We all have different timelines and paths. So your comfort level is first and foremost. With your confidence in yourself and believing in yourself, bringing your whole self to work is the next step. And I would just say, be authentic, be you. Don't try to be what you think your employer is looking for, or your boss is looking for, or your colleagues looking for, because that act will get old soon and you'll start to fail yourself. And so just be authentic. Be real, listen, seek advice, ask questions, and be part of the solution, whatever the challenge is ahead of you. And most importantly, whenever you make it to the part in life where you're comfortable and confident being out at work and at home, make sure and turn around and help someone else through that same path. Yeah. Because there's always someone who just needs a little bit of support in order to bring their true selves to the table.
Yeah, I love the idea of reaching down that ladder and pulling somebody else up. How do you think your intersectionality has impacted the way you lead and engage other people?
I think, if I learned a lot growing up in that small town and working in the farm and the ranch, and I learned a lot living in Australia. I learned a lot in Dubai. I've learned a lot through cultures. If I didn't bring all of that, including my personal situation, I would be not only throwing away or disregarding all that investment and all that time and all that learning, but I wouldn't be the leader that's able to hear different accents, different genders, different opinions. Whether you're from a private school, a public university, a small town, big town, East Coast, West Coast, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Voice, your experience is unique. And we need to hear it as employers and as teammates and as friends, because you make us stronger and more well-rounded.
Yeah, everybody at the table. Well, I want to congratulate you and Dow on receiving the Pride in Business Resource Group of the Year Award. I wanted to make sure I got that correct. And all of that. GLAD was really the chemical industry's first LGBTQ plus employee resource group. And a lot of folks, I think, are surprised sometimes because they think of the roughneck business that we're all in. But they're surprised to hear that Dow is a leader in terms of so many issues that have to do with the LGBTQ community. We know that the industry has not always been very open to the LGBTQ plus community. Talk a little bit about why it's such a priority for Dow and how you see things changing over the last few decades.
Well, it's important because we don't just want our employees to have a safe place and be themselves at work. We want to make sure that extends into the community. And then, we don't police the area, and we're not government, but we play big roles in the small towns in which we operate. And Team Dow, the GLAD network, which is over 3,000 people strong, 40 networks around the world. leaders like Trevor that you met there in the video. Those are all employees who are gay, straight, bi, all spectrums, just wanting to make a difference and bring inclusion to the table. And by GLAAD starting over 20 years ago, and I was a founding member of GLAAD, I'm proud to say. I was also a founding member of the Hispanic Latin Network, and still involved in both of them. Our ERGs are really there to help our communities and our community partners solidify that partnership and ensure that whether you're at Dow or living around, we're all part of the community, and we need to respect and include all the voices and all the makeup of the communities in which we operate. So that's why it's important. It's fantastic that our employees feel so comfortable to be themselves at work. We want to make sure that we do all we can to help not only our employees, but community members around feel the same and have the same benefits.
And do you feel as though the industry as a whole has to do some too?
I do. I think like every industry, I think we just kept going, and yeah, GLAAD was the first one in the chemical industry. But we're also in manufacturing, one of the first as well. And we just were doing it because it matched our values, it matched our ethos and our ethics, and it matched our strategy. And hopefully by that example, others came along. There are other leaders that were pushing ahead as well. And I think the industry has realized in this race for talent, you can't afford to leave anyone out of the equation, because someone else is going to pick up that brain, someone else is going to pick up that experience, and you're going to lose in the marketplace. So I think it's just a reality of where we are, that whether whomever you are and wherever you've come from, you're valued and you're needed to advance that organization and its strategy and success.
Absolutely. Well, we know that Dow is not just focused internally on inclusion, issues of inclusion and diversity. Talk a little bit about how Dow has really gotten involved in supporting pro-legislation for LGBTQ people out there, and also combating anti-LGBTQ plus legislation.
Well, we've done it. We've done all of that, right? And as opposed to some detractors who think it's just because I am in the company that the company is getting involved in some of these pieces of legislation. It's our employees. We're doing it for them. They're the ones who are saying, hey, look, this is wrong. This does not meet our value set. How can we engage to make a difference? And so in Louisiana, when a van full of employees on their own decided they were going to the legislature and they were going to speak up proudly as Dow employees that a restroom bill was just not fair and not needed and not in the spirit of what Louisiana and we stand for, that was them. When Indiana had their tussle with bathroom bills, it was our employees in Indiana who said, we're getting involved. And so that's what makes me so excited about the award that Shanice introduced us for. It's across the company, and it's not just GLAAD. It's our Global African American Network. It's our Disability Network. It's our WIN Network, our Women Innovation Network. It's a fire that's caught on across the company, across the regions, and we're trying to bring it to our partners and supply chains and communities in which we live and operate.
Oh, that's fantastic. I want to give you just the last word here. If there's anything you want to say that perhaps I haven't covered already, but if you would, kind of speak to the room and tell them about the kind of advice you would have appreciated some years ago, perhaps.
Sure. Well, look, first off, Tammy and Chamber, again, congratulations and thank you for the great work that you've done and continue to do. And we look forward to partnering with you and all our friends in the virtual room. I would just say that I have benefited well from allyship. There have been people along my life, whether it's parents, coaches, employers, senators, or CEOs, or neighbors. I have benefited from allyship. And so when you hear me say, please reach back and ensure you're doing the same for someone else, I mean it. I mean it, because it's not okay that things are okay for us in this room only. We need to make it okay and acceptable and listen to and include all. And so do your part, be an ally, be a champion to someone else who desperately needs it, whether they're in the LGBT community or not. Someone out there can benefit from your voice, your partnership, your friendship. And I guess I would just say to those leaders out there, gay, straight, or otherwise, please just be vulnerable, listen, and try to do your best to include all the voices that are at the table who may not have the stronger voice, but the one that has the most important message.
Louis, thank you so much. What a wonderful way to wrap everything up. And we so appreciate hearing your story, not only as a business leader, but also your personal story, because it's things like this and hearing from somebody, you have no idea who out there you may influence at this point, but it is the power of stories like yours to change a perspective and even a life. And it's something we certainly see in journalism every single day. So I appreciate it. I know your story makes a huge difference. I know that somebody out there heard your word, or will hear it in the future and feels hope and is inspired by you and your leadership. So on behalf of the Chamber, I'm going to speak for them if you don't mind. We want to thank you so much for being with us. Louis Vega, you are the man. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Now, I do have one personal question to ask you.
Sure.
Since you mentioned your husband, are y'all thinking about kids for your parents?
Well, we had, but we've gotten a little long in the tooth at this point. So we are godfathers to 11, and we take that responsibility to heart. And so we'll stick with our god kids and continue to help others who are going down the journey of parenting.
I tell you what, as somebody who doesn't have kids of her own, but has god kids and nieces and nephews, you're right. It can be a lot more expensive. Just
exactly.
You really can. Thank you so much, Louis. I hope you don't mind me asking you.
Not at all. Not at all.
Good. Well, as we wrap up our program today, I do want to say that the Networking Cafe will be open until 1:30 p.m. So you've got at least a half hour. So please stay, network, and connect virtually. And on behalf of the Chamber, I want to again extend much appreciation to our presenting sponsor, the British Consulate General Houston, and Consul General Richard Hyde, who you heard from just a few moments ago, and the rest of our generous Pride in Business sponsors, because your support has made this the largest fundraiser in the Chamber's history. And again, I have to remind you, it's only been 5 years, and they're out there really taking care of business. Your support will help continue the Chamber's important work, focusing on economic inclusion and supporting LGBTQ+ and allied business owners. And I just have to congratulate the Chamber once again, 5 years, and you're just kicking some behind out there. I cannot wait to see what is next. So I do want to make a little bit of a commercial here. Now is a great time to be a part of the Chamber, and you can learn more at HoustonLGBTChamber.com. So to Tammy and to the board, congratulations. You and Gary had a great idea 5 years ago. So here's to the next 5 years and so far beyond that. To our special guests, including the mayor, Mayor Turner, we want to thank you for being part of this special occasion and helping the Chamber to celebrate. And congratulations to the inaugural honorees, all of the Pride in Business honorees. You raise the bar and make a tremendous difference in our community. The Chamber will follow up with the lucky person whose name is drawn to receive the fabulous Houston Rockets gift package. And let me just say what a pleasure it has been for me to be a part of this wonderful program today, to learn more about so many individuals and companies who are really helping to make our city a much more livable, inclusive, diverse, and just wonderful place to live, even in the middle of June at 200 degrees out there. So happy Pride, everybody. We are so glad to have been a part of this. On behalf of ABC 13, I just want to say thank you again. And congratulations, Tammy and company. You guys have done a great job. Have a great afternoon.